Hello, I have come back from the dead to do a how good would the Genshin character be at a date? So first up is Albedo. Albedo would be B tier. I think he would show up on time, but he seems really shy and not very communicative, so I feel like the date would be okay. He would be nice and sweet, but I don't think anything like too deep and entertaining would go on as a Aloy. I think she's too busy saving the world from computers, and she'll be far too busy. Amber. I think Amber would make a good date, actually. I think Amber would put in a lot of effort into the date, and even if it's not to your taste, she would at least really try. So I feel like Amber would be a great first date. Ayaka. Ayaka would be C tier. I think Ayaka would be so awkward, and she would be far too busy talking about herself and how difficult it's been for her and how much she appreciates you being there, but it won't go past that. So I don't know, I feel like Ayaka would be kind of a trauma talk. Barbara would be in a similar boat as Ayaka. I feel like Barbara would not stop talking about herself and talking a bit too much. Beto would be an amazing date. Beto would be like a 10 out of 10 date. Like, she's already kind of with Ningguang, and if she can please Ningguang, she can please me. That's fine, we can do it. Yeah, disqualified. Child. D-Luke. Okay, here's the thing. I think that if D-Luke even has agreed to go on a date with you, he would show up on time and put in the effort. Like, you know, those like broody guys with a heart of gold? I feel like he would put in the effort, but he would be so shy and awkward and stubborn that it wouldn't be amazing, but I think it would be good. Like, I think he would be like a definitely on a second date kind of guy. Because if he even has arranged a date with you, then you've already won. Like, you know? No. On a first date, no. Like, cats take time and effort, and on a first date, I don't like, she would just expect to show up, be served, judge you, and leave. I don't think she would be a great date. Eula, I do not know anything about this character. I don't have her. I've never seen her story or in the main quest. So I'm gonna go off purely based off her character model and a bit of her voice lines. I think she'd be polite, but wouldn't be interested at all. Like, I don't think she would look at her phone, but I don't think she'd be interested at all. I think Yanfei would be okay. I think Yanfei is a high B tier, because Yanfei would probably be the one organizing the date, and but that would also mean that she would want to be kind of in control of everything, so she could be a little overbearing, but I think Yanfei would put in the effort, and she would be very interesting to talk to. Great conversation, because she would want to tell you all about the crazy clients she's had. So I think she would be a fun date, but I don't think she would be an amazing date. Official would be a disaster. This is not even a disqualified, it's just a disaster. She is like the worst version of Barbara. It's like never-ending self-talk. Just, I love her, she's my favorite character to play, but oh no. Ganyu, absolute S tier. Absolute S tier. She will organize it, she will do everything, she'll be sweet, she's interesting to talk to, she is a demigod, no. Ganyu would be the best date, and the best part of it is that it wouldn't even be complicated. Like, she wouldn't take you up on a hike to like exhaust you, nah. Girl would probably take you somewhere nearby, feed you, and then you guys can go and chill, kind of rest somewhere, probably a park. Like, Ganyu would be amazing. I think she would be a girl. I think Goro would be okay. Yeah, I think Goro would be okay. I think he's similar to D-Luke in that if he is even going on a date with you, you've already kind of won. Like, he would probably try. It won't be amazing, but it would be okay. I think that Huta would be glued to her phone. I think the Huta would be so uninterested in you. Like, I don't think anything about anyone could be interesting enough to her. She literally hangs out with a god and deals with bodies. Like, what are you gonna... No, I don't think you're gonna be interesting enough for Ito. Absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. He would not stop talking about himself and his hair and his... Oh god, no. Kaya? Would be here. Would at least not look at his phone because he is a womanizer and he knows how to play the game, but nothing about what he does will be particularly special or impressive. It will just be good and enough, like sweet talky and cute, but you know it's fake kind of thing, you know, kind of like a fuckboy vibe. Which, you know, it will be a good time, but not special or anything. Kazuha, he is joining the if you've made it to the date, you've already won club. I think that Kazuha would be a perfectly fine date. It will be great, just not amazing, but it would be great. And you will have some bonding moments with him. I think Kaching would be a disaster, almost. The thing is that Kaching would be too busy to care for you. Kokomi would be even above Ganyu. Let's be honest, Kokomi is mom. Kokomi is... She's not even mommy like Lisa. She is just mom. She will just take care of you and organize it and also be sweet and cute. Oh my god. Yes. Kokomi wins. I don't know if anyone will manage to surpass Kokomi, but we'll see. Lisa would at least not look at their phone. Lisa would be the same as Kaya. I think Lisa was perfectly aware of how hot she is and she would give you just enough to keep you interested, but nothing more. Mona, disaster. Disaster. Disorganized. Yeah, she just seems an airhead. She's far too much into her astrology. She wouldn't stop talking about it. Ningguang would be absolute bomb. Win. Ningguang is a win. She is in these guys category where if you even get to the date, you've already won, but it's Ningguang. Like, technically, in her investment into the date, it would be this level, but simply because it's Ningguang, it's amazing. Like, you can't even argue with me. I'm right. There's no argument. Noelle would be a same as Beto, would show up on time, would be really sweet, but is so nervous that it would be a bit awkward. Jin would be pretty high B tier. Yeah, she would show up on time and probably she would even organize it. Maybe not as good as Yamfei, but she would organize it. She'd be good, she'd be sweet, she'd be interesting to talk to, a lot of things in her life. Yeah, I'm totally down for Jean. I think Jean would be a perfectly fine date. Razor, disaster or disqualified, whichever one you choose, keep it. Rosaria, it would be glued to her phone. Same reason as Huta. I don't think you would be interesting enough to her. She just seems uninterested in anyone. Kujo Sara would at least not look at her phone, but would be so busy talking to you about the Raiden Shogun that you would just get bored. Like, nothing will ever match the Raiden in her eyes, and that's already an uphill battle. I think Shanghai kind of falls into the if you even make it to a date, you've already won. But she also seems so uninterested in anyone. Like, she's... Oh my god. Yeah, she's the same vibe. She's just like, no one is interesting enough. So, I think she's gonna be in the glued to the phone. Okay, so the question is this A or is this the Raiden Shogun? I think in both cases it's a would show up on time. If it's A, I think she's still awkward and distant enough to where it would be awkward. And if it's the Raiden Shogun, she would show up on time and try to like have a perfect date, and she would try to perfectionism. How do you even say this? She would try to perfectly execute a date, which would become a bit of an overbearing experience. Sukuro's disaster. Disaster. She would drop stuff. Again, the flying pie. The flying pie. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Child. Oh, okay, that's actually interesting because in one hand I think Child is the same as Kaya, where he's a bit of a fuckboy. He's this like Snezhnayan diplomat, so you know, he kind of knows how hot he is and stuff. But the question is, who initiated the date? Because I think for Child there's an element of like, if you even got to a date, you've kind of won. Because if he was the one that's interested, like, you go you. But I think I'm gonna leave him down with Kaya, where he would give you just enough to keep you interested, but nothing more. Like, nothing special. Toma would be amazing. Toma would be absolutely amazing. He's such a sweetheart. Oh my god, he would organize the date. He would probably even cook the food, or just he would be sweet. He would be an amazing date. I think that Toma would be an amazing date regardless of whether or not this turns romantic. I think he would be a great friend as well. Like, that's the kind of guy I think he is. So I think Toma would be top tier dates. Like Venti, I am somewhere in between disqualified because Child, but technically he's not a child. Oh god, I don't know. It depends on you. Cause if you like drinking, he would be a great party. But for me, disaster. Disaster. He would get drunk, he would be embarrassing. It's a child. No. I think Xiangling would be a good one. I think Xiangling is like a mid to high tier B. Because she would show up on time. She would probably also be the one cooking, but she'd be a little overbearing about the whole cooking thing. Like, she wouldn't stop talking about the cooking thing. And I don't know if she would be very interested in you, but she'd be very interested in your opinion about the food. And she would make you good food, and that's already a win. So yeah, mid-high B, that's fine. Xiao, same as Diluc, Kazuha, and Goro. If you're on a date with Xiao, you've already won. Like that's already the investment. Like Xinyan, disaster. There'd be loud noises. Probably she talks loud. Fire. Yeah, Miko. Same as Diona. It's just the whole, I'm far too impressive and superior to you to even consider you. It's like, even if she ever comes to a date, she'd be so uninterested and bored in you because she is just above that. Yoimiya would be an amazing date. Yoimiya would be an amazing date. She would even make you fireworks and take you outside after dinner and show you the fireworks and help you make a wish. And oh my god, Yoimiya would be an amazing date. She would be so cute. She would organize it. She would introduce you to her dad. She would be your best friend from minute one. Like, absolute amazing date. Actually, I think Yoimiya is even above Kokomi. I think I don't know. It's like, the question is, do you like more bubbly personality or do you like more like cute and soft? And for me, it's the cute. I actually think that Yunjin would make a good date. I think she would take you around the theater. She would show you around, introduce you to people. You know, she's a star, but she's also very down to earth. Okay, this one is personal bias. I think that Zhongli would show up on time tier normally, because he would show up on time. You know, it's the whole contracts thing, and I've made a contract, I show up on time, and you know, we have a date or whatever. But the thing is, I think he would be an amazing date simply because he's lived thousands of years. Not that Venti hasn't, but Zhongli doesn't have such a big alcohol problem, and he would have so many stories to tell. I am such a sucker for just stories. Like, I just want to listen to all his stories, and the fact that he would be so interesting, just for me, just that would just bumps it up above Ganyu. Not above these three, but above Ganyu. Like, he would be amazing to talk to. So yeah, Ayato. Listen, I think Ayato would be glued to his phone, but he wouldn't even do it on purpose. Like, I think that Ayato would actually be sweet and kind, but I don't think he would even realize how little attention he's paying to you. Kuki Shinobu. No idea about this character's story. I know nothing about her. But judging by her whole ninja aesthetic, I guess she wouldn't look at her phone. Yalan would be in between all the fuckboys. I am sorry. But she knows she's hot, and you can tell she knows she's hot, so... Hazel would be... actually a disaster. I don't know why. Like, something about his anger issues. I don't know. I think... Actually, no. I think Hazel would show up on time. He would be a fine date. Perfectly serviceable. Kale would be a upper tier. Yeah, I don't think it would be an amazing date, but I think it would be a good date. Like, good. Yeah, Dory would be a glutatone. She's paying for the dinner and she doesn't see the reason to invest more than already paying for the dinner. Like, you were too boring, too poor, too uninteresting. Okay, so in my account, I am Lumine and Ether is the Abyss person. So the Abyss, I think the Abyss guy, at least so far from what I've seen, would be higher. Like, it would be like a low would show up on time, because I think there's so much like emotional kind of turmoil there. So if he goes out on a date with you, he'd be extra careful about you, you know, like extra caring and taking care, because the whole like, oh, the people of Conria died and I'm here to try and do something about it, so... You know? Like, there's this essence of caring. And since I'm Lumine disqualified, I actually put it in. Tinari A tier. Absolute A tier. Tinari would be a darling. He would be a bit... how do you say this? A bit like... naggy? He would be a bit naggy, but he'd be so interesting to talk to. He'd be great on the date. He would hold the door. He would do it all. So Binary is number one. Absolutely. Candace would be very high, would show up, or low amazing, you know, like Candace is already mommy. Candace would she'd be great. She'd organize it. She'd be sweet and cute. She's also hot and she knows it. Candace has it all. Candace is like Ningguang but caring, because Ningguang is like you won because it's Ningguang, and Candace is you won but she also cares. So Sino is right dab smack in the middle of, if he's there, you've already won. Like, if he's already going on a date with you, then you've already won. Yeah, Nilo would be like a Barbara because she's also a star, but also I think that Nilo is the pick-me version of these guys. Like, Nilo is the, I know how hot I am, but I'm also so innocent. Like, you just love me. I'm so innocent. So, yeah, I don't know tonight. Layla to me is the pick-me, so sorry. Layla would be a disaster. She'd just fall asleep. It's not even personal. She would just do it. Like, she's adorable, but she would fall asleep. But if you're a painter and you want her to pose for you, she'd be great. But any other date, nah, disaster. Child. I do not care if you tell me this is a 500-year-old. It's a child. Faruzan, I do not know. I haven't gotten to that point. But glued to phone, she really doesn't seem too interested. She's also old. Like, nothing about you would be interesting enough. Ooh, Wanderer. Oh, I don't know. I think that he'd be a low, would not look at his phone. Like, it would be kind of a disaster because his bad habit of, you know, being basically insulting you and belittling you would show. but he also tried to suppress it, and we love the bear. So I don't know. There's something about him that gives a bit of a bad boy archetype that's tolerable. Like he's a tolerably okay date, like a tolerably bad date. So yeah. I'll hate them right dab smack next to D-Luke. If you've made it to a date with this dude, you've already won, but I'll bump him to a low amazing because he'd be so interesting to talk to. Like, don't get me wrong, nothing about what he does would be anything impressive, literally like these guys, but he'd be so interesting to talk to because, you know, knowledge and all that. So I'll hate them is there. And last character, Yaya, child, disqualified. So there it is! This is my tier list of how good would a first date be with all the Genshin characters. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.